last year sometime, I went to John's studio and I saw that he had an old series of these large angels. And some of our work is very similar in style and such. And we started talking about, the similarities in our themes and the differences as well, how our process is and how we approach the subject. The title of the show, Contemplating Heaven and Earth, my approach is more from a spiritual side into art, and John's approach is more art history, even though my pieces also cross over with works in art history.
And all of my work is really going from, they're all sort of appropriated from older paintings as the inspiration and then redone. And so part of what I was interested in, I've always been more of a contemporary artist and more of a non-objective artist. And my interest was to see, go back to this older art and see, if I felt that it could be relevant still. Because there's always been a question in my mind. More traditional representational art is kind of what I grew up with and I had some talent for, but I had given it up a long time ago. And there was a part of me that wondered if that was kind of like a waste. Are you wasting a skill or a talent or something like that? And so the idea of going back and kind of redoing these, older, more Renaissance images or other paintings, but doing them with a more contemporary sort of
flair. So we both found ourselves looking at pieces and reimagining them in a contemporary way. One of mine is based off of, inspired, I guess, by Picasso's Old Guitarist, and then another sculpture, the Pietà, and
I think the angel theme was a common thing we both had. The use of text over the figures, I thought was really interesting that we both kind of shared that. And so that was something that I thought kind of made it a natural fit.
And yours is a very more laborious, painstaking process.
Yeah, the text on mine is actually branded using branding irons and burnt right into the paper.
And you created those branding irons.
I'm kind of... And when I thought of the branding, it was like an immediate thing where it's like, yes, I've got it. That's what it needs, because it brought back in the text, which I've always liked working with. And more importantly, the burning into the paper was something that just, formally was something that I thought would be so cool. And it adds a sort of weight to the work.
My text is stenciled and obviously very painterly. And not branded, that's for sure.
Us deciding to do the show together, that was something we had kind of in the back of our minds for a while, because we knew there was some similarities with ideas we were working with. It's really more of an intuitive process, and it was really just it was very easy to lay out the work and try to figure, how things fit in the space and how they related to each other. So that was that I could do in my sleep.
Yes. We love the Performing Arts Center and what the city does. You and everyone that's involved, and from these videos to the artist reception, it's just top notch. You can see more of my work at chasinglightartstudio.com, but Shawna Hatton Art on Instagram. Or come to the studio at 140 South Main, Studio C. Lots of work up there. And I'm usually there Wednesday through Saturday and some Sundays.
And for me, you can see I have my website, which is johnsousa.com. Instagram and Facebook I'm pretty active on. I don't show a lot locally. I have a gallery in Columbus. My longer term goal is just to keep trying to get the work out there.
I just think it's so rich, the colors and the branding, especially if you see the video, which is on your website, of how you did the process. It's fascinating. And I love the just the colors and the movement and such. Mostly, that's my favorite part.
Her work is obviously more expressionistic and And one of the things that I really enjoy is that there's a freshness. The work that I find most successful, there's a freshness to it, and it's more spontaneous. And that I really enjoy.
I did a commission for somebody of an Angel Gabriel, and I did a lot of research for that. I mean, really, if we had a show of angels, it would be pretty terrifying.
Even though these are angels and things that are, a lot of people think is real positive things. When you read the Bible's not always happy. There's some heavy stuff in there, and there is a weight to a lot of what's there.
Yeah, we've laughed thinking about what it would look like if we really had what the descriptions are. I'm working on, I'm not done with my series on women, and so I'm continuing that. But art for me is a way of processing a lot of times, and I think it's a healthy outlet for everybody. And so this one, I think it's going to be called Head and Heart, and it's about the mind and memories, some tough stuff. As far as angels go, the Winged Warrior probably is one of the most meaningful to me, and I was inspired back when I studied in Italy and went to the Louvre for the first time. The Nike of Samothrace, the winged Nike, she just is so exquisite. And then I reimagined her as a winged warrior, kind of a female David, and so she's dedicated to all the female warriors I know. I had planned for her to be painting, but most of my work I start with charcoal, and I just liked the effect of that on the linen. I think I'm going to continue and have some more of her. Also, the Madre, the mother and child, that too was and that's the most recent one in this series. But I thought of that, I've been wanting to do that for over a year. And then it just, once I started working on it, because I had a clear idea, both of those, when I have a clear idea, after doing sketches and just a lot of ruminating and, writing and exploring what I want it to look like, it comes really fast and furious. Even a really big painting like that, that was less than 2 weeks, and working on it just, 2 to 4 hours a day.
Well, I'm currently working on a series which is much more abstract. It's more collage based, very textural, more non-objective. It's called Chaos Fields, and basically it's more like a vision of the world through your brain. That's the way I envision it.
It reminds me kind of a dream,
it's very fragmented, and there's a lot of text in it. It's both for me, I'm interested in it both formally. The texture and the way it's made is very important, but also it has a lot of imagery and text and things that are very subjective or suggestive.
I think it's very playful, but it reminds me of a dream too, because it's because of the colors, but also the pop imagery that you have in there.
Yeah, I try to have certain things will draw you in that are more kind of universally, playful or things that people can identify with. But then as you get in, you can spend a lot of time just looking at all sorts of things. Mm-hmm. And I think the meaning of the work is I push and kind of go in a direction, but each person is going to come away with things that are more based on their personal experience. And that's part of what the works are supposed to be, because I've always thought that, really good artwork is kind of like a mirror, where it allows people to kind of see themselves in a way. And so the work is suggestive in that way, instead of being literally saying something, it's suggesting things.